So you got the Arduino there?
Yeah. Let's take that out. Yep, that's there. So,
yep.
so let's make sure that we have everything. So
Yep.
the first thing is to do is to see if you have the thermocouple and the temperature sensor with it.
Okay, sure.
So
can you just put okay?
Yep.
Which is the thermocouple?
So this is the sensor. This is a MAC 776 sensor.
Yep.
And this is called the K-type thermocouple.
Yep.
So
okay.
at the end of it, you have a soldered piece.
Yep.
So that's the temperature sensor.
Yep.
What happens is that the temperature goes into this module, and this module is able to convert that temperature into voltages.
Yep.
And we represent that voltages, which helps us to analyze what temperature it is.
Okay, great.
That's how we start.
And how does that go on to the Arduino?
So in the board we have on the board we have some pins that's called ground. It goes to the ground of the Arduino.
Yep.
That you can see there.
Yep.
Then you have VCC, that's the power. So that we give it 5 volts. The Arduino.
Right, okay.
And we have SC, SCK, so those are the digital pins that helps us to translate the temperature from here, the voltages from the sensor to voltages. So right now I'll tell you how to connect those pins to the Arduino board. So what you got to do is that you got to collect some female jumper cables. So where one end, there's no pin on one of the ends. So what you can do is that let's start connecting it to the pin called SCK.
Okay.
And let's go to that, and let's put SCK to pin number 13.
Okay.
That's just below the ground.
Yep.
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep. And then let's go to the SC pin. So let's take another jumper cable.
Are you taking a female one as well?
Female one. So since you have pins, it's much easier to connect.
Yeah.
So let's take another one. SCK, and CS pin.
So in order to do this properly, we wrote a guide, so the students should just follow the guide, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if they change the pins, they'll have to change it in the program as well.
Okay, so just follow the guide. So it's basically plug and play.
Yeah.
Very similar. Okay.
So SO, that's the last one, and that goes to pin 8. So that's just the cables that transfer information, but we need to power it as well.
Yep. Okay.
So let's go and take another 2 more female cables. That's here.
I should be a cinematographer. Maybe not. All right, so they go in there.
VCC, so that goes to the pin number 5. So we have ground 5.
Yep.
5 volts.
Yep.
And then you have another ground pin. That goes. Okay, I need to check where we have a female. Yep. So that goes to the ground.
Yep. And where does that go?
And that's a ground pin, so put it in the ground.
Into the ground.
Yeah, so it's written here ground.
Right,
just
can you zoom up on that?
Yeah.
Right. Okay.
And it goes to the ground. Yeah, so that's all to do with the thermocouple and the sensor.
Okay, so you just hooked up the thermocouple and the sensor, and that will allow you to measure the temperature coming from the peltier.
Exactly.
Okay, great.
So the next thing that we got to do is the motor driver. But I need to.
Yeah, you forgot the scissors.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll just have a look at the motor driver.
The problem is that before you connect it to the breadboard, make sure that you know which pins are when. So there's INA, there's PW, there's enable A, PWM, all this. So make sure that you read what these are, because it's based on those connections that we're going to connect it to the Arduino. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to take the INA, that's this pin, you can see the arrow mark, okay, and let's take a female clip for now. Okay, and connect it to pin 7 of the Arduino, that's here. Okay, then let's take another female cable. Okay, so now it's INB, so that's here. So connect that there, and that goes to pin 6.
So all they need to do is just follow that wiring instructions.
Exactly.
Okay.
So
Load up the
yeah, I've wired up
Motor
the
driver.
motor driver.
Yep.
So now that's where now what happens is that now there's something called VDD and ground. So the VDD means actually it goes to the power supply. So that should go to the 5 volt. 5 volt in the Arduino, but if you look at it, we already have a 5 volt that's taken up.
Okay.
So what you could do is that you could rather take another cable,
Yep.
and remove that 5. Okay, but connect a new one to the 5.
Yep.
Connect to the positive to the breadboard.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yep.
So what you can do is that you could let's connect it. Let me take this. The holes are really tight. Ugh.
Maybe use another one.
Yeah, or else you can just put that there.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's 5 volts.
Yep.
So
Yep.
now you could connect all the 5 volts to that point.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
Yep. I understand.
So
yep. Sure.
you can take 5 volts for the thermocouple that we used, and you can use 5 volts from the motor driver.
Yep. Okay. So what does that do, Jeffel?
So it supplies the power
Okay.
to the board.
Yeah, sure.
So Arduino receives power via USB,
Yep.
and that's 5 volts.
Yep.
And so both these, both digital signals, if you need it working, you need 5 volts.
Okay.
For it to activate
Sure.
all those.
Okay.
So that's
Alright.
there, and then what you connect is the ground. So we could take another female cable. Yep. So you have an extra ground in Arduino. So let's say that's here. It's connected to the ground. Oh, you could, so that's
Okay.
there.
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so once that's done, you've connected almost all the sensors. INA A, INA B.
All right,
Then
let me
you
get that. Yep. Can you do that again, please?
So we have all the sensors. So that's INA, that's INB, and we have the power and the ground.
Okay. Done.
That's all you require. And once that is done, now we got to connect the V in and the ground.
Okay.
So for that, we'll have to go and pick up the wires.
Okay.
So switch on your power supply.
Yep.
Make sure that you put the voltages to at least 15 volts. So make sure you set channel 1. Make sure it's channel 1. Make sure the power is switched off. It's green. Switch it off. Okay, and then once that is done, take a black wire, connect it to the black.
So you're connecting up the power now. aren't you?
Yeah. Make
Can
sure
you
it's
connect out the power with the device turned off? With this
yeah,
power pan? Okay.
yeah. It's just to make sure that when you sometimes what's going to happen is that if you don't switch it on, if you switch it on directly, it might be in very high voltage and someone might press it on. So it's
okay.
better to check
Yeah,
before
okay.
you switch on.
Sure.
So
Okay. Fair
just-
enough.
You can switch it off and do it.
Yep.
So
All right.
then take the red one. The red one goes to the red as well. Just make sure the pin is attached there. It's stick it tightly. So,
So
or else it's going to slip. So,
Yeah, so it goes through the
so
hole.
It goes to the hole there,
Yep.
and then you can just tighten it up. Yeah. So and now it will come up.
Okay.
Yeah. So okay, I just need to take a screwdriver to our motor driver.
Yep.
So in the motor driver we have something called V in and ground.
Yep.
So the V in is the positive, that's red.
Yep.
And the ground is the black wire.
Okay.
That's where we connect it. So let's go and open the V in. Sure it's loose enough. Take the V in, connect it in, and tighten it. Yep. And next you have the ground. Similar thing. First, just loosen it up. Push it in. Tighten it. Yep. That's that. Now, the next thing that we're going to